Niagara County is open. Local elected and tourism leaders gathered together to preview the summer 2020 season.
As we enter phase 4 of reopening this week here in Western New York and Niagara Falls, USA, we are finally seeing the brighter days at the end of the rainbow. Finally.
With regards to the aquarium, we have opened our doors to members. We opened our doors yesterday. We are today welcoming aquarium members, and on Thursday and Friday, we'll welcome in aquarium members as well as anyone who is deemed an essential worker throughout this pandemic. So we're very excited to be able to extend that opportunity for those folks that went above and beyond and put their lives on the line, that said goodbye to their loved ones every morning, and whether that's a grocery store or a first responder, we are very proud to welcome them into the aquarium. And then on Saturday the 4th of July, a date that we've heard a lot about today, we will be offering general admission. Those tickets will be sold on our website. That is the surest and best way to ensure that you'll get in without having an extended wait time. So we'll be open from 9 o'clock in the morning until 9 o'clock at night on Saturday, and then going forward, Sunday through Thursdays, 9 to 7, and Friday and Saturday throughout the summer season until 9 o'clock. So we encourage everyone to come out and see the aquarium. We are at 25% capacity, as many of the other attractions are. So if you're typically steering away from the aquarium this time of year because of the large crowds, you can visit the aquarium at 25% capacity without the extra and undue pressure.
Our attraction will open on July 4th. We're finally glad to be there. Our story, of course, is that of the Industrial Revolution and the history that surrounds Lockport and the industries that made it the city of smokeless power. We're also very glad that Lockport Locks and Erie Canal Cruises is operating, as will the Discovery Center in Lockport. So we really have a good half to 3/4 of a day. Tourists that are coming to the falls, staying in hotels, they have additional things to do in Lockport, as Ellen Trant said. So we're looking forward to our opening. Reservations are, attendance is by reservation only on our website, www.lockportcape.com, and we're looking forward to Saturday's open.
As I see the increased pedestrians out there and people walking by my office in the park, it's actually starting to feel like a normal week in July. We're not quite there yet, but we'll get there, at least to 50% capacity. I'm really proud that Niagara Falls State Park and other state parks were able to stay open through this pandemic and provide that respite that was so desperately needed during this pandemic. It was really important. And I do want to thank our Governor Cuomo and Commissioner Erie for providing the resources for parks to stay open through this time. Even to the extent of waiving parking fees through the 3.5 months, up until a couple of weeks ago, that was a big help. So a lot of little things like that they gave us, we were able to keep the staff on and keep things running. And I know the community truly appreciated it, as we saw by the attendance. So the parks are open, but many of our important venues were closed, as we all know, and that's why we're here today. So happy to report, last week the Maid of the Mist opened, and they've been seeing increasing numbers every day. And just yesterday, the Cave of the Winds opened for the first time under very little fanfare. We didn't really announce it. It was kind of, all right, things are lined up, let's go. We had just under 1,000 visitors yesterday. We do anticipate next week getting the trolleys up and running. And we're working on the plan for the visitor center. We may open it soon to limited capacity. But again, hopefully next week with some details there. And then our partner, Delaware North, has opened their concessions in a variety of areas, mostly out in Rhode Island. We hope the Top of the Falls restaurant will open very soon, maybe to a limited capacity, and certainly over on the mainland at Prospect Point. So they're very active and engaged, and their gift shop is open out at Rhode Island.
Since late March, it's been eerily quiet at the fort, and we're anxious for that to end. We will be opening on Friday, just in time for the July 4th weekend. So if people don't feel like traveling far, they can at least travel back in time to another era. We will be having our living history programs outdoors, so you'll still be able to come and see the ever popular musket demonstrations, etc. You can tour the historic buildings. We have a lot of windows and doors that we can keep open to provide good ventilation. So it's great to be back on track after these eerily quiet weeks when we've been closed and we've only had a skeleton force at the fort to maintain things. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody. 4th of July weekend is usually our busiest weekend of the year, and we're looking forward to reopening and welcoming some guests.
It gives me great pleasure to say this. We're finally open tomorrow, thank God. We basically have been ready from the get-go. We wanted to go March 26th, but apparently we hit a little snag, just like everybody else. But safety's always been our #1 issue and concern, and we always attack it to make sure everybody has the most enjoyable time on our aircraft and be able to see the falls, the U.S. and the Canadian side. So during the time the world stopped, one thing did not stop, and that was the water going over the falls. So, and that's one thing also we're good at around here is weathering the storm. So it's time to forget about the past. Let's move forward. Let's hope for a great July until whenever. Let's hope that we have a big extended season here. We're open Thursday through Sunday from 9 a.m. usually to about 6 p.m. weather permitting. And hey, anybody's interested, come on, check us out tomorrow. We'll be taking off, and it's looking to be a good time, especially with the weather being like this. So.
And the first thing I want everybody to know is I'm not here in a life jacket because there's any problems at the power plants. They haven't lost control of the water. We're not about to have a deluge here, but we are having one down in the gorge, which is the normal course of business at Whirlpool jet boats. We started today. We were very, very, very excited to be back and be in operation, and we've gone through a tremendous amount of work with our local health authority to achieve everything that we needed to do to achieve social distancing and all of the sanitation of our equipment and our boats, because of our boats go in and out, and all of our guests wear a life jacket like I do today. And at Whirlpool Jet Boats, we're very fortunate. We have a large fleet of boats. We added our 9th jet boat last year, which gives us the ability to spread out our guests amongst that fleet of vessels and basically maintain our capacities, even though they're spread over so many other boats. As a destination, and particularly with the leadership that John provides, as well as the backing of our political partners, that we can get through this as quickly as possible, and I'm just glad to be doing our little part of it.
It is with great pride that we open safely this week to finally welcome visitors and locals again back to our doors, back to our homes here in Niagara Falls, and to get the tourism economy buzzing once again. As we entered phase 3 a few weeks ago, we transitioned from our soft and inspirational marketing messaging to a stronger push in our key drive markets. We started 3 months ago with Destination of Hope. Soon after that, or a few weeks after that, we were into Dream Now, Adventure Later. So as Minnie mentioned, we were out there, we were present in all of our markets to make sure that Niagara Falls was first and foremost in their minds while they were home, searching and looking for travel for the future. Now, on June 18th, we activated wide open spaces, now open for adventure, across all of our digital channels. Our strategy with this campaign is to highlight the many adventures across Niagara County that visitors can experience on a daily basis. And what a wonderful week to open up. Of course, we'd love to have been open earlier, but what a great week to open up is July 4th week. Our messaging also includes our new Unified and Safety program. This is a program that we created and put out to all of our partners across Niagara County to show that unification, to show that we are together in this, as you are witnessing today, that the prime motivators for consumers and all the research that has started since day one from Traveler Sentiment is that health and safety is #1 concern when traveling or picking a travel destination. So the Unified and Safety program that is here, that is around our building, and even the Visitor Center is open today for the first time. But we are all practicing that and making it a priority in all of our businesses because it's imperative that we do. In the 2 weeks since we launched the campaign of Wide Open Spaces, we have seen a significant increase in overall website visitation, which indicates a strong intent to visit. A few numbers: 109% increase in overall visits to the website, 157% increase in page views, 101% increase in new users. Our now open blog, I had asked Andrea this morning, are we sure on this number? But the blog page views increased nearly 30,000%. Places to stay increased 102%, and attraction page views increased 99%. All these numbers collectively show that the pent-up demand for travel is high, and we truly believe with all of our attractions beginning to reopen this week, we will see our dry market visitors return to enjoy all this destination has to offer. And I think, Niagara Falls in the past has bounced back quicker. As someone mentioned earlier, we have, I think John did, that next year may be our best year ever. This year, strangely and uniquely, oddly, weirdly different, but next year hopefully will be our best year on record. I truly believe that our comeback will be stronger than the setback. We have said that from the get-go, and I truly believe those words.
We're undertaking a number of measures. So, example, with the rails. We have fencing set up so that when the density gets too much in the Prospects Park area or the Luna Island, we will be cutting numbers off. And we're striving for about 50%. And of course, everyone gets the message. Social distancing is the number one aspect. You can't do that in all cases, so we have to wear masks. So our staff is monitoring it, talking to people, encouraging breaking up groups when that happens. Same thing for Maid of the Mist. They like to go along the rail at the Maid. We're allowing just a certain amount of that because it's a very brief time. If it was extended time, we'd have to get more aggressive. But as long as everyone has the masks on and they split up after a few minutes, we're comfortable with that. But keep in mind, the restrictions of everything is 50% at the most.
When we were working with our health department officials, the first thing that they challenged us with was the fact that paper and cloth masks become highly ineffective once they get wet. Presents a real problem on our boat tour. We have adopted a situation from our whitewater rafting resorts that we operate, is all of our guests now wear a helmet with a Lexan face shield that is used to prevent any water droplets from being splashed onto another guest. So our guests do kind of look like they're going on a lunar mission when they're getting ready to go on the boat. But those are the unique challenges. In addition to having to social distance amongst groups on the boat, which is taking a boat that would normally handle 50 people down to 17, we've had to adopt those types of strategies again to prevent any possible transmission during the course of their time at Whirlpool jet boats.
We do have to have our passengers wear masks around. We will be providing masks, hand sanitizer, anything to keep them safe and comfortable for the time being. The challenging thing for us was the fact that we can only put 4 maximum passengers per trip. So we were told be creative with our COVID plan and the PPE plan as well. Basically, what we have to do is we can't put separate couples in the aircraft, so we'll have to do multiple trips with less passengers being filled. But if we do get a family of 4, it is bloodline. They are allowed to ride together, but again, they do have to wear masks. That was the one good thing, the outcome. With this safety plan, the template that we have, believe it or not, scary enough, our plan for opening and closing every year through the FAA basically emulates this, but just adds a few things such as wiping down the aircraft after every trip, providing hand sanitizer. Instead of headsets, they'll have to wear earplugs instead. But all that stuff will be provided as well. Anything to be safe.
Our primary strategy at the aquarium has been to implement safety protocols and strategies without being invasive on guest experience. So it's an attraction, you're supposed to be there having a good time, having fun, and what we tried to do was interpret that in a way that was not intrusive. So as you move through the building, we're using a lot of bright colors. We're asking groups to stay together, one family or one group per exhibit, and then follow the flow. So we've got a little floor pattern that will guide people through safely. And the feedback that we've received in our first 2 days of now opening has been very positive. It's been welcoming for adults and children alike. So we've worked hard to maintain that it is still fun to come to the aquarium despite the COVID restrictions.
Lockport Cave's capacity is going to be 50% of what it was. We were at 30 people per tour. We'll get down to 15 people per tour. We think that the quality of our tour increases with less people because the tour guides can pay more attention and provide more information to a smaller group. There is no entrance for anyone other than the person who is paid for the tickets online. It's one way in, one way out, and it's you cannot enter back into our building, so there's no assembly. Everyone is required to wear a face mask. We've worked very hard with the New York State Canal Corporation and the Power Authority to make sure part of our tour, of course, is the Flight of Five and the locks at Lockport and those operations. We will conduct those operations on the Lockview Plaza walkway, so there will be no assimilation between a tourist who is walking and or the state employees. And of course, we're requiring everyone to keep a 6-foot distance as well. That will be paced out. And the good news is because we have tour guides and it is a guided tour, we're able to control the groups and the distancing and make sure that we're enforcing that.
It's a great opportunity, and it's great to have thank you to all of you, the media, for being here, because we can express that locals can now, maybe someone said it earlier, if it's less crowded, take advantage of the wonderful attractions and the gyms and the assets that we possess in Niagara County and Western New York, and be able to come up here and even get away and stay in one of the hotels and make it an overnight stay, make it a weekend stay or a weekday stay, and partake and really participate and enjoy the assets that we have that typically, someone said it earlier, that may stay away during a busier summer period. So while they're home, still with their kids and their families and so forth, that, come up and partake and enjoy, again, what we have to offer. We are, working very hard to make sure that even locally, that our information, that wide open campaign, that wide open spaces campaign, is prevalent in our local market, in the Western New York and the regional market as well. Kudos to all of these people. They've been so dedicated during this 3 months of the shutdown.